From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. With the Canada Post strike now in its fourth week, experts say the government is likely feeling pressure to intervene and support businesses being hurt by the labor action. In decades past, a Canada Post strike would have been much more impactful and prompted a stronger response from the government. But as the digital world continues to integrate with modern living, the pressure to end the strike isn't nearly as strong. Ottawa says it has no intention of getting involved in the dispute, while more than 55,000 postal workers are walking picket lines across Canada. School shooting survivors, dignitaries, and the families of victims came together in Montreal to pay tribute to 14 women who were killed in an anti-feminist attack at the Polytechnique Montreal school in 1989. The ceremony saw Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Quebec Premier François Legault in attendance. School shooting survivor Nathalie Provost says the anniversary stirs many emotions for her, but the victims must not be forgotten. Montreal Mayor Valérie Plante says women have the right to live without fear and to follow their aspirations and achieve their dreams. Canada has unveiled a new Arctic foreign policy to combat emerging foreign threats in the north.
Global Affairs Canada says the North American Arctic is no longer free from tension since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The policy does not commit to any new defense spending, but it is aimed at helping Canada work more closely with its allies. The urgency for that cooperation comes after Russia and China conducted joint military exercises in the Arctic in July, and those countries have committed to cooperate with each other on the north. Canada's plan would revive the country's Arctic ambassador position, scrapped in 2006. It also commits to opening consulates in Greenland and Alaska. Jason White, The Canadian Press.
Police say they believe the shooter who killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson has fled New York City. Reporter Josh Einiger says the police are examining what they believe to be the suspect's backpack found in Manhattan's Central Park.
A source with knowledge of the case tells me the bag appears to be filled mostly with clothing. Nothing harmful, but a potential treasure trove of forensic evidence detectives have been looking for now for days. The shooter himself may be long gone, but this could be the biggest break yet when it comes to figuring out who he is.
Investigators are looking at whether the shooter may have been a disgruntled employee or a client of the insurer. Pop star Taylor Swift is preparing for her next show in Vancouver after wrapping up the first night of her appearance in the city for the Eras Tour. Swift told the crowd on Friday night that she chose Vancouver as the final stop in her 149-show tour because the fans in the city know every lyric and they don't just sing them, they scream them. Swift will take her final bow for the tour on Sunday, with fans saying she deserves a break. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Vancouver Canucks spotted the visiting Columbus Blue Jackets a 2-0 first-period lead, then stormed back with a 5-2 NHL victory on Friday night. This loss means the Blue Jackets have lost 3 in a row. Artemi Panarin scored twice and added an assist as the New York Rangers defeated Pittsburgh's Penguins 4-2 in NHL action. Riley Smith and Vincent Trocheck also added for the Rangers. Connor McMichael's goal at 9 minutes 51 seconds of the third period snapped a 1-1 tie and lifted the visiting Washington Capitals to a 3-1 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nick Dowd and Alexei Protas, with an empty netter, scored for the Caps for their 8th straight road victory. John Tavares scored for the Maple Leafs, who had a 3-game win streak brought to an end. A person familiar with the negotiations tells the Associated Press that right-hander Shane Bieber is returning to the Cleveland Guardians after making 2 starts and undergoing Tommy John surgery last season. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.